Let's try this one. I came out here last night and got the instructions, brushed up on those, and then mounted up the cutter that I'm going to use. I got it all set up, got my fences set up and stuff. Now we've got the power feeder here, and that runs off of 220, but it runs off of a lower amp circuit than what the shaper does, of course. So I had to go dig out extension cord for it, and now I've just barely got enough room here, enough extension cord for the big power, for the 30 amp power for the shaper. I'd set this power feed motor up last year, cleaned it all up and everything. It's been sitting in here for several years since we bought it and never used it. The motor won't start. It comes on, powers on, and hums, but it wouldn't start. So I think the starter unit inside of it has gotten rusty, corroded up, so it's sticky. Well, anyway, I could get it to start by turning the fan motor here. So I'm going to have to take this cover off the fan motor. But anyway, I got the shapers all set up and ready to go. So I'll plug it in and we'll give it a try, turn it on, see if anything blows up here. I think I've got it set where I want it. And I'm going to have to find some sacrificial boards to run through there and make sure I've got the knives set up at the height I want. It looks pretty good. Okay, that looks pretty good like that. Now I'll get that power feed roller to go. All right, that works. Now I need to get it set up. I want to get some boards here to run through that. Test that thing out before I go doing it on my oak boards.
What's that?
What's what? I'm going to use it to run through the shaper. I've got a piece of Doug fir that's been hanging around here for a while. That's a little thinner than that, but it's pretty close to the same size as what the oak is that I want to run through there. So right, I need to lower my feeder a little bit. So it's taking a little bit more off the bottom than the top and leaving a little ridge on there, so I need to lower that down just a little bit. All right, let's try that now. Yeah, it still clears everything. pretty good. That's taking just about an equal amount off of both sides. I'm going to move my fences in just a little bit. That would hardly taken any wood off at all. I'll try it again. Oh, that is perfect. That's just the bull nose I was looking for. All right, I like that. Well, now I need to, let's see if I can run this piece of oak through there. Yeah, I could do it. I might need to raise that power feeder up just a little bit. All right, now we'll try this on this short piece of oak. That's going to be good. That's going to be good. I could raise that up a little bit because it's got cut a little deeper on this top side than it was on the bottom side. And I remember that this piece is thicker than the piece that I set through there for my test piece. But it's all going to be cut off. It's only going to be part way through that anyway, so that's not going to make any difference. Huh? Yeah, it's good. Well, here it is, that round over edge. It got a little deeper on this side than the other side, but I only need a 1/2 inch there, so not all of that is going to be, well, that's about where the saw cut is going to be, actually just inside of that. So that is nice. That's going to be perfect. Be really nice. Yeah, that's not going to affect it any. Actually, it'll just lay down on the table on the radial arm saw when I rip it, and it's a flat. It won't make any difference anyway, one way or the other. But okay, I'm happy with that. That's good. I'm just going to raise it up just a little bit, just for grins and giggles. I'll run the other edge through it. I can adjust this one fence out just a little bit. Okay, let's run the other edge through that. here's the long piece. I've got a knot close to the edge here, so that grain right there would probably not make a very good bend there, make a weak bend. All right, I'm gonna run the bad edge through there first, just to make sure again, and then we'll run the good edge through. Then I'll have to set up my radial arm saw to rip that out, and once I do that, then we can cut the second one. I guess that thing won't run on green energy, so I have to plug it into power plant. That cuts a whole lot better. That's why you don't stand in front of that thing. All right, that looks like that's going to work just beautifully. I'm going to cut the other edge of it off. All right, I like that. I got a snug fir board with nice straight edges on it again. And a couple of nice pieces of half round molding here. So I'll get the big oak, short oak piece out and try it. Well, I got the short oak piece out, and we'll run it through there and see how it goes. It's a lot heavier, harder wood than the Doug fir, but that Doug fir cut really nice. Oh, this is cutting. See, that blade is... All right. That thing looks pretty good. That actually might even work. Got the knot down here on the end, but all this looks really good once I got it cut. Hooked up the dust collector for this. A lot of sawdust spewing out of there. All right. Now that's my pretty one. Here's how it's compared to the one that came off the airplane. Almost identical. This one might be just a little bit wider. Yeah, a 1/16 of an inch wider. I'm not going to complain about that. I like it. I like it. I could quit right now. I think I've got more than enough good pieces to do what I need to do. But I think I'm going to go ahead and finish out what I started there. I think I'll go ahead and put the half round on this piece again. Now this knot right here where this is, that one is a no-go for sure. But that would make molding for the house, for something around the house, furniture or something like that, even if I did that one. I'd get another perfect one out of this other side right here. Oh, maybe two more. I don't know. I think I'm going to do that. I'm on a roll here. I might as well keep going. My friend Tom, when he stopped by yesterday, he said that a friend of his in Juneau was having trouble with his wingtip bow on his airplane, and he was patching it. So I might get a hold of Tom and say he can get a hold of that fella and tell him I've got some really nice oak strips here that he could have one of those and maybe and put a new one on his airplane if he wanted to, instead of fooling around with a patching the old one. Okay, I'm going to reset things up now. And there's a beaver going flying by. And I got the shaper all set up and ran these oak boards through the shaper. And I got 8 of these half round strips made for the wingtip bow. And I was really happy the way those turned out. This one here is not going to be any good because it's got a big knot in it. Now I just did that as a practice piece and because it was there and to get down to better wood for the next one. But anyway, like I said, that one's got a big knot in it, so that one's not going to be any good. And I don't think that one is long enough. I got a tape measure in here someplace. Oh, I got dozens of them. It's one of the things my wife buys every time she goes into Harbor Freight is tape measures and claw hammers, and we must have 40 or 50 tape measures and claw hammers around here. Well, anyway, that one, no, that one's not going to make it. That would make 87 inches, and I think it's 94 inches for one of the wingtip bows. Now the short board, I didn't think I would, yeah, that's 109 inches, so that'll make, that's one of the short ones there. That'll make one. I didn't think they were going to make any, looking at them, the knots and stuff that thing had in it. But once I run them through the shaper, they turned out really, really good. Like this one here, it's got a big knot on the end of it, but that is 104 inches long anyway, so that's more than long enough. And then I got another one of the long ones right here, and that's got a little knot right there that'll get cut out of it, and it's got a little inclusion right down here. But once I got to looking at that, I think that'll be just fine, that inclusion. That gives me 6 of them that are good, even if the 2 do get rejected. So I've got to steam bend those. I'm going to have to make myself a deal to steam them. And I just fished out a table that I made. It's a stand that I made to set my camper on when I had the camper here. And it's got a 4x8 sheet of plywood on the stand, and I can use that to set up the jig for bending these on. And then I've got some Schedule 40 drain pipe that I'll probably have to go to town and get a cap for one of those, or caps for those, so I can run steam into them. But like I said, I got plenty of these to practice with now. Make sure I get it right.